So it's been around 2 months since I got my Fuji XE4, and today I'll be talking about what I like and don't like about the camera and the film simulation I use. Just a quick disclaimer though, I am not a professional when it comes to the specs of the camera. I'm only going to be talking about what a lot of people might know about, so I think this video would be mainly for beginners and new to photography. So yeah, let's get it started. So first things first, the camera has 26 megapixels and it has the APS-C sensor, meaning that whatever lens you put in the camera, it's gonna multiply by 1.5, I believe. So the 35mm that I'm using, the f2 lens, it's actually equivalent to, I believe, 53mm in focal length, which is what I consider the Nifty 50, if you've heard of that term before, which is the 50mm lens that Sony and Canon users use. They're very durable, they're very cheap, hence the name Nifty 50. The camera is also capable of doing 4K videos. That is why I'm using the camera for my b-rolls and this video as well. I think it's a really nice touch. It's not a completely necessary thing for the camera because it's mainly used for photography, but I like the fact that they made it capable of doing 4K, something that I didn't have in my Sony a7 II. The camera is also capable of shooting 20 frames per second, so if you're shooting a subject that's really fast or moving, then I think it would be a good feature for the camera. If you're looking to get this camera, I don't really use it as much just because my memory card is not as fast, which means you do need a very fast memory card if you want to shoot in 20 frames per second. Lastly, this might be important to some beginners or for anyone looking to get the camera in general, but the camera is only 364 grams compared to the Fuji X100V, which weighs around 478 grams. So just to put it to perspective, the camera, if you're into coffee, the camera weighs almost the same as a bag of 12-ounce bag of beans. So yeah, that might be a good thing to know. So the first thing I don't like about the camera is the ergonomics of it. Now, don't get me wrong, the camera is beautiful. I think the design is very modern. I believe it was released in 2021 after all, so. But the ergonomics in the camera, it just doesn't work with the way I hold it. It's very boxy and it's very hard to hold, especially if you don't have any of the accessories that you need to make sure you don't drop the camera. Of course, to prevent that, you could just get like a hand grip, a thumb grip, and a wrist strap, and you should be good to go. But the problem with those is it adds weight to the camera. So if you're kind of looking forward to get this camera because of the weight as well, then I would recommend those accessories and just make sure you hold the camera firmly. The second thing I don't like about the camera is the back button. So I used to use the back button to kind of choose where the focus frame is, so that I could composition the photo properly. But now I actually turn off the back button because whenever I'm walking around, I'm so focused on what I'm looking for, and I would accidentally press the back button and the focus frame would be in like the top left corner or the bottom left corner, and it happens quite often. That's why I decided to just turn it off and use the touchscreen feature on the camera, so that if I want the focus frame to be somewhere else, then I could just touch the screen and it will go there. Last thing I don't like about the camera is that the body doesn't have image stabilization, meaning it doesn't stabilize. So I personally like it when the camera has that, because I do shoot the b-rolls in the main camera, not in the GoPro, just because it has better quality, I guess. but since it doesn't have it, I have to use Premiere Pro's editing, the warp stabilization, I believe is what it's called. But if the camera is moving too much, you get that warping effects in the video, which is something that you don't want. But sometimes I don't really have a choice, and I really like that clip, so I still use it. So if that's something that you don't like, then you're gonna have to get a lens that has the image stabilization. So what I like about the camera. So first things first, I like that I'm able to change the lens. Now, why does that matter if I'm doing street photography? Well, I actually do shoot other things as well. I do car photographies, portrait, and street photography, but I've also done weddings, proposals, engagements, and other stuff. And in that type of photography, you need to be able to change your lens depending on where you guys are, the settings and stuff like that. So that's why I decided to go with the Fuji XE4 rather than the X100V that I was actually looking forward to get in the beginning. The second thing I like about the camera is the film simulation. Now, all of the Fuji cameras, I believe, has Fuji simulations, and that's the reason why I went with Fuji, not with another Sony. So I used to own a Sony A7 II, and I used that camera for 2-3 years, mainly in car photography. But even though the camera is great, don't get me wrong, it really relies on how you edit the photos. That's what gives the photo the character, your own style. But with film simulations, it even adds more into that. So having film simulations in your photos, it's already adding character to it, and it's really up to you to be more creative and add your own style into that photo. The last thing I like about the camera is the wireless connectivity of it, the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth. Although I only use the Wi-Fi, the app in my phone is very useful when I want to transfer a couple photos from the camera to my phone. And the reason for that is because, let's say I'm going out and I took a photo that I really want to just put in my Instagram right away. So that's when I do it. I transfer the photos from the camera to my phone right away, and it takes 15 seconds to do it. So that's why I like that. So the last thing I want to talk about is my film simulation. I'm actually using a film simulation in the video right now, but for my photos I use the classic negative or classic chrome film simulation. But of course, for the specifics of that, I'm going to be putting that on the video right now. But that's not the only reason why my photos are the way they are. I actually also use classic Lightroom to edit my videos and my photos mainly to get the photo look I'm looking for. That's pretty much the end of the video. It's been raining a lot here in California, so I can't go out and do more photo walks, but once the sun's out, I'll be going out there to take more photos and make videos for the YouTube channel. So for now, I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, see you next time.